Finally winding up in Golden State, Gilbert had lofty expectations that were tempered by reality.
When I came into the NBA, I was like, I'm starting by the middle of the season. Because, you know, I'm looking at it like college, because when I went into college, I said the same thing.
And a jump ball as they manhandle Arenas in the backcourt.
That's not how it works up here. You know, so, you know, I'm looking at it like that. Okay, well, maybe I'm not going to start. You know, so I start down myself. You know, I go into a big old drought. And then the coach that recruited me at Arizona, Rodney Tension, you know, he, sent me my highlight tape of me when I was in Arizona, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, well, maybe I am good. You know, I can play here. So then a teammate also who wasn't playing for Golden State at the time was Mark Jackson. Him and Dean Oliver, us three, like, 7 o'clock in the morning. We had practice at 11, and we'll be out there playing full court one-on-one, all three of us. They just helped me develop my game.
Let's see what he does in 6 seconds here.
Now with 4, with 3, Gilbert the lane to lay it in and draw the foul.
The hard work paid off as Gilbert finished his rookie season on a positive note, and the momentum carried into year 2 as he contributed 18 points per game.
Arenas at 5, weaving through traffic. What a finish by Gilbert.
He was coming off his first year where he didn't play much, and then his sophomore season, you could see all-star potential.
Gilbert's talent began to draw attention, but not everybody understood his offbeat personality.
Outside people was looking at it like, oh, you know, he's leading his team in technicals, you know, he's leading the Western Conference in technical at one point. You know, what's wrong with this kid? I was just trying to find a way to turn the team around.
He's so competitive, and he doesn't hide his emotions. And if you lose a basketball game, he's not a fun guy to be around because he expects to win every night he steps between the lines. And if you get 12 guys that hate to lose the same way he does, you're going to have a pretty daggone good basketball team.
Smile. Where?
The resurgence in Gilbert's game earned him the Most Improved Player award. And when it came time to choose his next place of employment, he approached the decision with his typical unconventional style.
Clippers, Washington. Which one? Do I really want to go all the way East Coast? Or do I want to just stay home? Let me flip this coin. Whatever it lands on the most, I'm going to go opposite. It landed on the Clippers. So let's go to Washington. See, I think that's where that quirky stuff comes from. You know, like stories like that.
Those stories led others to form negative opinions of Gilbert, which followed him all the way to D.C.
Well, I'll be the first to admit, I didn't know if Gilbert Arenas would fit.
As Arenas headed east, he would have to prove himself all over again.
Next and final station stop, Washington, D.C.
When Gilbert Arenas arrived in D.C., his new coach saw a potential problem from the very beginning.
Gilbert was talented, but he was young. We had Jerry Stackhouse, who I knew was a dominant player. We had Kwame Brown, who we wanted to develop. We needed a pure point guard and not a guy who was a combo or a shoot first, score type of guard.
That probably was one of the reasons it was rough. I'm out there, trying to learn his offense, but I'm trying to, I'm coming from a fast break offense and I'm trying to, do my thing. And coach just got his job and he just left Jason Kidd for a 20-year-old kid who's holding his fate in his hands, and it's like, I don't know.
Arenas, alley-oop for Jeffries, and he turned it over.
Arenas throw it away. Arenas could not handle it, and all he could do was try to throw it back in bounds. Davis jumper points off turnover. Wizards fall to 25 and 57 on the year.
His game wasn't efficient, and he would shoot first, pass second, run the offense third. And we wanted him to turn it around.
After a tough first year in Washington, the determined Arenas relied on his work ethic to win back his coach.
Long as I'm working, I can't be stopped. When I look at players around the league and, they're on top of their game one year, then they're down, I'm like, they didn't have a good summer. They didn't work, So I just make sure I just stay working. I can relate to, like a Earl Boykins type of player who has to grind it out just like I do. Want to rebound for me? Want to rebound for me? Yeah. I'm serious. He'll come in at 8-9 and take 200-300 shots. That's just the routine that he has, and he enjoys doing that because he thinks it makes him better, and it does. You know, coming late night, this is what you get. It's not an accident that he's a great outside shooter. It's not an accident that he's improved his in-between game. He puts the time in, and in this league, if you're going to be a great player, you have to work at it, and Gilbert does. My dad, he always told me, if you want to be good, you know, you got to keep at it, because while you're resting, somebody out there is working in the world.
Working hard is one thing, but living up to Eddie Jordan's expectations was another. That's why player and coach took a trip to the NBA Finals in New Jersey for a lesson.
I wanted him to realize what a playoff atmosphere was, and to see the focus of the players, to see the efficiency of each possession, how to take care of the basketball, how to defend. I wanted to see all of that within that one game, and I think he did.
The next season would see a change in fortune for the Washington franchise, thanks mostly to Gilbert's improvement.
Was that Gilbert with the pass? That was such a quick pass.
Gilbert meshed well with new teammates Larry Hughes and Antoine Jamison, who played with him at Golden State.
Come from a situation where he's trying to understand the game, and all of a sudden he's pretty much dictating the game, and he's making a difference out there.
Great pass! Yes. What a spectacular play!
He would also earn the trust of head coach Eddie Jordan.
What I did is I learned the offense and found a way that I can score in the offense. And then he was looking at it like, okay, this kid is good. You know, he's, you know, scoring, you know, 10, 15 points in our fourth quarters. And he's not afraid to do it. Okay, let me let him go a little bit.
And one! Gilbert Arenas ties it at 104 with 20.
And I think that's where, you know, our connection came.
The team's winning ways made Gilbert an all-star for the first time.
I'm about to take a picture of this.